Prizes Week. Einstein Physics. December 10th, 2025. Freud. Physiology or Medicine, Supergirl. December 11th, 2025. Health. Physiology or Medicine and Physics. Ad. I think we can link clinical psychology and medicine. But how can you link physiology or medicine with physics? Aside from the fact they may be sciences and there are Nobel Prizes for both of them. Though physics studies atoms like carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen etc. And these combine to form molecules which are the building blocks of DNA and organelles. And of cells which form tissues. And tissues which form organs in the body. The body is just an organ system and it can be diseased or damaged in many ways. Biology. Ad. I once saw a lecture by a biologist who taught that there are several theories of aging. One theory is that the DNA in the nucleus of each of our billions of cells keeps multiplying. And the body is completely replaced every 7 years. But this process becomes less and less efficient and thus results in human aging. And all the diseases that accompany aging. Ad. I should add that most or all forms of cancer also involve maladaptive mutations or errors in the DNA. Sometimes these errors can be repaired. Cancer can be treated in several ways including computerized radiation therapy and surgery by experts. These methods may be effective or even provide a cure. In cancer treatments like chemotherapy and immunotherapy, the strategy of the oncologist is to damage all DNA in the nucleus of cells in the body by the right amount. But healthy cells can sometimes repair the damaged DNA while cancer tumor cells multiply too quickly. Hence many cancer cells will die and be removed from the body. Isaac Asimov said that biology became a science in W953 when Watson and Crick found the helical structure of the DNA molecule. He called it the basis of life. The DNA molecule has a sugar phosphate backbone. And 4 nucleic bases always in the same 2 pairs. Adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. Always CT and GT held by hydrogen bonds. Since this allows the DNA to code a lot of important information but also multiply in cell division. Namely mitosis or for procreation multiply twice in meiosis. The DNA has 23 pairs of chromosomes in humans. We get 23 chromosomes from each parent. A boy has 1 pair that are an X and a Y chromosome. A girl has 1 pair that are both an X. This includes about 100,000 genes that code for different characteristics. A gene can be dominant or recessive. A gene is part of the genotype while what you see is its expression is the phenotype. If a gift or disease is recessive then it will not be expressed in the next generation if it exists alongside a dominant gene. Physics. Okay. But the biologist is a specialist. Does physics also affect aging or some diseases? We know that even smoking cigarettes causes cancer in many people. So can too much radiation. I theorize that aging and many diseases are caused at the level of nuclear physics. Chemistry is just the rearrangement of atoms and involves the external electrons. Nuclear physics involves the nucleus of atoms. There are protons and neutrons there. And a nuclear reaction involves splitting of the nucleus as in fission or joining of the 2 nuclei of different atoms. Now many atoms are stable. But we know that some atoms or particles decay. We speak of half-life of a particle. And a few particles or atoms exist only a very short time and decay very quickly. So surely it is true that atoms and particles that make up our body decay. And this can have serious consequences like damaging our DNA. Resulting in aging and diseases like cancer. December 10, 2025. Nobel Prizes. 1 Physiology and Medicine. Sigmund Freud was nominated for the Nobel Prize many times but he never won. He was a doctor or neurologist but founded psychoanalysis. They said it was not scientifically proven. Really it is clinical psychology not physiology or medicine. Wait a minute. But physiology studies the body or human body, and the brain or central nervous system is part of the body, and medicine is just disorders of the body. So it includes disorders of the brain. Indeed, the brain thinks and can learn. Pavlov got a Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine. That was for simply showing that a dog can learn a new response, namely expect food even before it arrives, since he learns to associate it with a bell in classical conditioning. Later this influenced Watson to develop behavior therapy for human beings. Skinner added operant conditioning or influencing behavior by rewards and punishments. Beck argued we should consider thinking processes in cognitive therapy. And later he unified it with behavior therapy in cognitive behavior therapy. Freud also wanted his patients to learn new things. They had signs and symptoms. He believed that the knowledge could be obtained from underlying brain processes or the unconscious. But this was not accessible during the day. So Freud analyzed a patient's dreams with his help. Though this was difficult since parts of it were forgotten, had censorship, etc. But he used free association together with the interpretation of dreams. As I said before, in religion you have prophecy. And Maimonides argued in the 13th century that this can occur in dreams, visions and face-to-face. He used all three approaches to analyze scripture, not only dreams. He said that scriptures may be symbolic. He used the powerful Aristotelian philosophy as a worldview. In a sense he also gave religions like Judaism a rational or metaphysical foundation in his books, especially the Guide of the Perplexed. Mentally ill people were treated badly. Pinel is the father of modern psychiatry. He argued that you can even communicate with the insane, and proposed more humane treatments. Decades ago the discovery of new medications made a huge difference. Many patients were able to leave mental health hospitals, allowing them to live on their own, work or establish more normal relationships. As I said before, I watched the 2025 lectures in physiology or medicine. It concerned autoimmune disorders. December 11th, 2025. Nobel Prizes. 2 Physics. I just found out that Albert Einstein was nominated for the Nobel Prize many times. He won the Nobel Prize in Physics on the 10th time. But as I said, he won it for interpreting the photoelectric effect, not for special or general relativity. His equations, not the equivalence of mass and energy, is the most famous equations in all of science. Einstein also contributed to quantum mechanics. Really, it includes wave-particle duality. And light was seen as a wave. But Einstein argued it is made up of particles by interpreting the photoelectric effect. Max Born got a Nobel Prize in quantum mechanics physics. He mentioned Einstein's interpreting of light as particles as influencing him. He interpreted Schrödinger's wave function as giving the probability density function for electrons. Personal note. I got 100% a perfect score in. After a few semesters I applied and got accepted into the science of physics. That was the 100-year anniversary of the birth of physicist Max Born. I studied some general relativity of Einstein etc. before and wanted to learn more. I did an electronics experiment designed by our professor to measure the speed of light. It involved sophisticated mathematical analysis. The laboratory assistant said the professor was impressed with my report. But I soon decided to apply to advanced mathematics and computer science and I was accepted. I finished that program. In one course on computer architecture I led a small team and we had to design a computer control unit and a RAM memory. In a course on operating systems we learned how to program parallel supercomputers. I worked as a computer programmer after graduation, trying to create an office automation system. My employer even wanted me to implement a network. Few standards existed in those days. I left the job and went back to university to take a few more courses, especially on artificial intelligence. For several years there has been a lot of research in superstring theory, hoping to unify the forces of physics, especially Einstein's general relativity with electromagnetism or quantum mechanics. Einstein may have unified special relativity and electromagnetism. He tried to do it with general relativity but had difficulties. Feynman unified special relativity and quantum mechanics in quantum electrodynamics. They say the mathematics of superstring theory is beautiful. The highly regarded mathematical physicist Ed Witten unified 5 string theories into M theory. Some experts say string theory can never be proven, since strings are too small. I wonder if strings or membranes are simply their new word for waves of Maxwell and Einstein. I wonder if really the problems of physics partly really involve neglecting psychological factors. Also, Einstein and Born each added the new math to physics in the 20th century. In the computer age, algorithms are the new math. So maybe the key is to add algorithms into a new theory of physics? You have variables changing, algorithms, parallel algorithms, conditional branching, data structures, memory, synchronization, etc. The 2025 Nobel Prizes for Physics. 3 winners. Press release. Demonstrating quantum mechanical effects at a larger macroscopic scale. The discovery of macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in an electric circuit. My note. I just watched the lectures. This allows building circuits which are like artificial atoms. It may also lead to new quantum computers. One physicist said there are 92 kinds of atoms in the periodic table. It seems these physicists study simple atoms and simple electronic circuits. Though it gets technical. Physicist Richard Feynman once said in a lecture that in chemistry they use inexact methods. In physics the Mathematica gets very complicated. But chemists are able to predict the behavior of complex molecules with some accuracy. But physics have trouble describing the simplest atoms, even hydrogen. Ad. Watch the romantic musical comedy motion picture called Young Einstein. It stars Yahoo Serious as Einstein. There is also the motion picture IQ when Einstein is older. He tries to help his niece to be happy and find love. There is also the 12-season TV series The Big Bang Theory, which has 3 physicists including Sheldon. One of them may win a Nobel Prize. There is also the prequel Young Sheldon 7-season TV series which examines the physicist Sheldon as a child. There are also many recent video lecture courses on physics by prestigious university professors available for a fee or membership fee online from the teaching company called The Great Courses. Including great ideas of classical physics, Einstein's relativity, quantum mechanics, introduction to astrophysics, nuclear physics explained, superstring theory, the DNA of reality, the theory of everything, etc. There was also a Nobel Prize in chemistry and other fields. December 10th, 2025. Supergirl. I saw the Superman movies. And Smallville had 10 seasons. But he does not fly nor wears the costume. Except in the final 2 episodes. Now had Melissa Benoist. I wanted a Supergirl TV series for a long time. There are 6 long seasons. I am still watching it. Now at season 4. There was a Wonder Woman TV series years ago. S&D, a recent motion picture in 2017. That movie was great. The sequel was not very good. But Wonder Woman was also in Batman vs Superman and in Justice League. She is a very popular DC Universe character. I think Supergirl is more powerful. But maybe Supergirl is less popular since she is a female version of Superman. I saw the short 4-season TV series Superman and Lois. He is married and has 2 teenage sons. A new Superman motion picture was released in theaters worldwide this year. I did not go to see it. I prefer watching shows or movies at home. Next year they will release a Supergirl motion picture worldwide. At first only Indianers. Underscore underscore underscore.